Well, hello. Good afternoon. Hi, it's her. I am here back again with another video. It's a beautiful day. No complaints. The sun is shining. Your girl is here. And hopefully you're here with me. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. As always, I do a little segue of why. Because I like for my videos to have purpose. I don't just get online to talk. I mean, people may think that, but that's not. Like, I usually, like, something will probably transpire, and I usually use those as teachable moments. And that I like to share those teachable moments with people in hopes that they learn something from it, or if nothing else, learn what not to do. A lot of people just like to hear themselves talk, and that's not me at all. I try my best to because I feel like your time is valuable. If no one cares about your time, Candice does. Okay, and so I don't feel the need to just say anything. Like, I hope that if you leave with one thing and it enlightens you, encourages you, inspires you, whatever it may be. Hopefully, it's something in a positive manner. Either way, I want to start off by saying that it was something that I seen or that I heard the other day. The young lady said that I feel is very problematic, especially within our community. And when I say our community, I speak as a Black woman. So a lot of things I say to everybody, but especially people that look like me, right? Something that she said, I feel like it's problematic because I think we do this a lot, and I think that this is why a lot of problems go unresolved. I think this is why people live lies and do things behind the scenes, because let's call a thing a thing. People are liars. People are liars. Okay? They're liars. They don't know how to stand in their truth, so they judge other people that do. And so her direct her direct response was, I'm a sneaky person. So I'm not saying that I've never done anything. I'm just saying that you're not going to catch me online giving a story time about it. And I think that says a lot about you, number one. It says a lot about you, especially when she announced what sign she was. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Most of y'all are liars. Most of y'all are liars. And so, like, that sign is notoriously known for being a liar. So it didn't surprise me. And so people that have to lie for a living, and they think that that's like cute. Like they think like, it's something. I'm keeping it demure. I'm keeping it, under wraps. They usually aren't really living up to be their authentic self. That's what I have learned as a person who has thrived off being mysterious and not necessarily closed off, but I realized that a lot of that baggage and stuff you hold on to, whether you realize it or not, directly or indirectly. And if I gotta sneak and do it, I don't want to do it. If I gotta lie about it that I did it, I don't want to do it. And if I can't talk about it, then I don't need to do it. See, that's the difference between me and you. I can talk about a story time about something that happened to me because I did it and I chose to do it. I lived through it. I can talk about it. I can learn from it. I can teach people. I can write a book. I can do a seminar. I don't have no issue with that. Where everybody else wants to hide and lie and sneak and connive, I don't have to do that. Because see, when you really at peace with yourself, it doesn't matter. People lie and sneak and cheat out of fear of judgment, out of fear of loss, out of fear of something, because I don't want people to think that of me. I would never want anybody to, bitch, I did that. If I did something, I did it. I don't do anything that I can't tell somebody about. Like that's like I don't get that. If I did it, I did it. I'm not lying about nothing. Bitch, if I was there, I was there. If I did it, I did it. But one thing I'm not gonna do is fake the fun and lie to same face to make it look like I'm something that I'm not. Absolutely not. No. And so people that think that they sneaky and they don't tell their truth, like they have some type of like higher moral regard, because I'm not gonna be a lot. Girl, we know you ain't shit. Just because you don't talk about it, you think we don't know? Get the fuck out of here, man. These people are funny. I be sitting there like, girl, you think we don't know? I guess if you talk in your soft, in your baby voice, Santa baby. If you give them little razzle dazzle, they'll forget about it. Shit. Bitch, I was there, I did it, I made it happen, I didn't. If I didn't do it, I didn't do it. But if I did, I did. Like I don't do that lying shit. I don't have to, because I keep telling y'all, what you eat don't make me shit. So I don't have to. I don't have to appease you or like you, because there are 8 billion people in the world, so somebody's going to vibe with me, somebody's going to like me, somebody's going to catch the wave. So even if you don't, there's probably 10 other people that will. So I don't get caught up in, okay, do you know how many groups there is? You know how many communities there are there? Man, there are so many people, so many different races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, all that. Religious groups, everything that you can think of, there's a group for it. Somewhere there's a class being taught. So why in the hell would I hide? and I get some people say some things should be left unsaid, and those things that are, even if it ever came a time for me to talk about them, I could. See, the goal is to leave empty. Your heart is supposed to be light as a feather. So if you gotta hide anything, if you have to shy away, if you have to keep skeletons in your closet out of fear, because to me all of that is fear. If you hold back any aspect of who you are, that is you fear something. Oh, it's just not none of your business. Okay, it may not be, but if I talked about it, what would it really change? Other people's perception, how they choose to treat you. It would be everything external to you, because it didn't change you. You still cool. You still straight. You lived through it. You moved on. So why can't you talk about it? Girl, honey, I'm leaving up out of here. I ain't carrying no extra baggage. I ain't carrying no skeletons in the closet. I'm not, no. Honey, you can come back here and do all this shit over if you want to, honey. I'm leaving it. I'm putting it on the floor. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. You can think whatever you want to think, as long as I do not have to come back to Earth, because Earth is ghetto. I'm not coming back down here. You can say whatever you want. I'm not coming back down here. Because they're going to talk anyway. If you don't never say nothing, they're going to talk. So you might as well just tell your truth and get on. And even when you tell your truth, they still going to be like, well, did you hear how she said it? Did you see her facial expressions when she said that? I don't know if that's really the truth. So it don't matter. It doesn't matter whether you tell it or not. Come on, people. Come on. Be honest with yourself. Let's be honest. And people say, don't overshare. Oh, well, fuck these people. I'm so tired of, living in this cage of, don't overshare. Don't overgive. Worry. Live it like this. Put it in a box. Don't do too much. Don't too far to the left. Don't go too far to the right. You're doing too much. You say too much. You're blinking too much. You're dancing too much. Honey, I'm living my life. I'm going to live my life. And whatever happens is going to happen. And eventually I'm going to have to leave here. And ain't nobody going to remember it no way. So you might as well just tell the truth now. You might as well just let it go now. You might as well move on now. But that takes a higher level of thinking and elevation and ascension. Everybody ain't there yet. But it's okay. It's okay to tell you the truth, baby. You want to be honest, because a lot of people hold on to the terrible things that happen to them, and then they project on other people. That's why a lot of us go through cycles of abuse, because a lot of people done did a lot of horrible shit, and for whatever reason they can't seem to get past it. So they abuse everybody around them because they've done horrible things, and they've done sneaky things, and they've lied and connived and sneaked and did unlawful things. They've done all these terrible things, darling. Because to me, if it was something good, would you hide it? If you were out here doing good things, you got here being of service, doing, you doing charity work, you giving back, you gave somebody $10, bringing bread to the children. People don't hide that kind of stuff. So if you got to be sneaky, usually something you really didn't have no business doing. Usually. So if you can't do it more than once, and you can't tell nobody about it, it's probably not something you need to be doing. So I'm just not gonna do it at all. If I can't talk about it, I'm not doing it. That's the difference between me and everybody else. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be sneaky and do nothing. I'm just not gonna do it because I don't want to have to live with that shit. That's the difference between me and other people. I can do a story time and talk about things I have done because I've lived through it, and I'm good with that. But a lot of you hoes sneak and lie and do malice shit behind the scenes, and then want to be like, I can't believe that people actually talk about it. No, I can't believe that you actually do snake shit behind the scenes, and you live with it. You live with yourself. All that toxic waste on the inside, all that toxic waste, girl. This is what I'm saying. You can't be accepting spiritual advice from everybody. That's why I was like, no, I can't. Because to me, if you withholding stuff and you ain't really working through your shit, and you sneaking and you lying and you're not really being honest, I can't really trust your message spiritually, because you're not really telling the truth. You're only telling me what you feel like I need to hear. A lot of these people gonna say and do whatever it takes to get the views. If I never get a view, it don't matter to me as long as I can get my message out. Like I'm straight with. I don't need that. Like, I do this for me. I've never sought out to make millions of dollars off the internet. That's never been my thing. Like I say, I like books and once a library. I like more hands-on, old school activities. But I understand that the world is moving so fast now. People just don't have that kind of time no more. So I get it, but I was thinking just a minute ago, I was like, what the hell happened to Risa Tisa? I said, that lady, she had that story. She had her 50-part series on TikTok. She was on the Tamara Hall show. I think she did a Target commercial. I don't know if BMW ever gave her that Benz or not. I don't think they did. But she just vanished. This is why we talking about, like, you people want to go viral, and y'all want to sit up here and be up, and then she comes and goes, and you just disappear. Like, you didn't write a book. I don't know, maybe she did. Maybe I just haven't kept up with it, but I just felt like she was just catapulted into, like, everybody knowing who she was, and then it just seemed like she vanished. Or maybe just that was her time in the cycle, and her cycle, the news cycle, and it ended. But this is what I mean by people forget, people move on. That's what Gabrielle Union said. Like, you go through public humiliation and thinking people are really, like, caught up in that shit. People like, oh, that happened. Oh, okay, I didn't even know. That's still going on. People have so much to do. It's like we are literally praying to God. They rush don't drop bombs over our head. And you think motherfuckers got time to worry about you? Do you really believe that? just so many other things that people have to worry about, baby. Life is moving fast, and nobody really cares. Truth be told, they may listen for a while, but most people just don't even care. So with that being said, something that I've noticed nowadays is that now the more people come out and talk about themselves, talk about themselves, but I know there's the influx of people that talk about their medical conditions. A lot of times they use that as segues to movements and books and all this different stuff, and that's fine. I personally don't do that because I don't hold myself to like whatever may be going on with me could change from moment to moment. So for example, if you're a person that suffers from anxiety, I personally don't say I have anxiety. I say that I currently am managing the symptoms of anxiety. Or I may not even say anxiety, but sometimes I overthink things. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. I don't even claim anxiety. You know the time all the songs come out now, that shit, if it's anything that like glorifies mental illness, that shit shoots to the top. Because you think in your mind like, oh, I found something that, you know, I can rock with, something that, you know, baby, that's like reinforcing your trauma. That's reinforcing your illness. Like, I think honestly and truly, when you have a proper diet for the most part, and you stay sucker free, and you exercise, and you have a low stress life, and you actually are happy, I don't know too many people that actually deal with anxiety like that. Like the way it's just like unbearable. I'm not talking about like having anxious moments. Like you have to go stand before a million people and speak. I'm talking about like when you having panic attacks, like extreme anxiety. Because I honestly and truly, I feel like especially since the pandemic happened, I think we all deal with something. Because I've said this for years that I feel like when the pandemic happened and we were all forced to be locked down for all that time, especially people that were elderly, especially people that already had mental health issues that had been undiagnosed, I feel like that did something to our mind more than it did something to our respiratory system, because it took away our freedom. It took away our ability to choose yes or no. It caused anxiety. The fear of always, you can't touch nothing, you can't go over here, you gotta have a mask, you gotta be 6 feet. You know, you're worried about the food, you're worried about your kids. It created anxiety. That was one. Well, let me not say that. So you gotta be careful about what you claim and how you speak things over your life. So I don't claim certain things because I know that there's usually a way to heal it. There's usually something that you can do or something that you have done that can heal your body. That you certain emotions can, you know, you can look at your emotional body and see how those things are connected to most diseases. Like for example, cancer is related to a lack of forgiveness and resentment, because cancers and toxins can build up in your body over time. So you think a person that's like a racist or a person that's filled with hatred, a lot of them people be getting sick to the motherfucker in their old age, because could you imagine how much hate, like, do you know how much space hatred holds in your body? Like you live off of hate, you breathe off of hate, like a white supremacist or a hell's angel or somebody that lives and thrives off of hatred. Could you imagine, like, when they get sick, like what their body is dealing with to maintain all of those toxins? And then more than likely, when you live off of hate, you don't take care of yourself. You don't eat right. You don't take care of yourself. Your body is bad. You don't go to the doctor. Think about it. Think about it. When you have hatred, it's not just necessarily for one group or one person specifically. Like, it shows up in every aspect of your life. That's why I let shit go. If you mad, okay. You don't like me, okay. Because one thing I'm not going to do is hold space in my heart for people that don't like me. Or be upset or be mad about something that happened 2 days ago. I'm gonna make me a video and I'm gonna move on. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna journal. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna channel it in a healthy way, and I'm gonna move on. Back to my project. Back to things I'm doing. Back to my life. So, the reason why I say that, because where I'm at, I see so many children with autism now that I've never seen before. Even when my daughter was younger, even when she was in school, like that was not, like we talked about ADHD. But even that, I felt like can be changed with proper diet, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is the diet, it is the food, it is preservatives in these foods, it is the processed foods, it's the fast food, it's the sugar, it's all of it. It is. It's not getting proper sleep, being overstimulated on social media all the time, not being able to use their mind. They don't know how to, cognitively think or to function. They're all over the place all the time. So that means you're scatterbrained. So now I'm seeing so many children that, they're coming out and they can't speak. Keep in mind, like, I've stayed at a few. I've experienced, or I've seen a lot of that, and now I kind of understand what that doctor meant. There was a doctor that I worked with, organized her house, and she was a pediatrician, and she told me, she was like, her job has been so hard. And see, this is what the public don't know. So they'll get mad at people because they feel like doctors should just know everything. And it's really like, no. Not necessarily. She said that this was when I was in California, because kids transitioning is a big thing out here. They're very liberal. So they believe in allowing them children to transition their sex from one to another if the parent agrees, right? And as a pediatrician, she didn't know what to do, because it's like there's no data. See, a lot of them go based off statistics. Even when I went to go and get my annual done, and I asked the doctor about doing breast exams every month, and she was like, no, you don't need to do that. She was just like, you need to do it just periodically. If you feel anything, just let us know. But you don't need to do that every time you have. That's what the doctor told me. Like, you need to be checking yourself every month after you have your period. And she was like, well, if you don't have a history of breast cancer, and you don't have serious illnesses, then you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And And she said what that does is statistics have shown, that's exactly what she said. He said statistics have shown that when we started telling women to do that, it caused more testing and more anxiety for patients than was necessary, because a lot of them came back negative and nothing was wrong. So a lot of us, we this is what I mean by worry and confusion, all this stuff we put ourselves through. And it's like, no, I'm not worried about anything. Whatever will be, whatever happens, I'm gonna deal with it. But as far as me sitting here worrying myself into the ground about all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and what might be done. I ain't doing all that. And that lady said that the pediatrician, she was like, I don't even know how to properly handle these children. I don't know how to properly care for these children, because there's no data on if this was, biologically a little boy, they've transitioned to a little girl, and now they're going through hormone therapy, but they're in the middle of puberty as a boy. So what do I do as a doctor? I don't even know how to serve you properly, because everything that I would tell you based on my medical experience has been altered, and there's no research. There's not enough research to really, for me to even go off of to like help you properly. So a lot of times you be thinking like doctors, they don't know shit. No, baby, like everything is done through research, analysis, testing. Like that's the process of the medical system. Whether it's medicine, whether it's psychology, whether it's any form of science, data, all of it is about testing, research and development, testing. That's what it's about. It has to be proven. And based on this research and these facts and these statistics and case studies and scenarios, that's what doctors do. That's what they go by. These statistics based on these numbers. Okay, we know that women between these ages and this time, it is all case studies. It is all data and information that has been collected over the years, and based on these numbers amongst these groups, amongst this demographic, amongst this race, that's what they do. And so as life and time changes, new data comes out, new research has to be done, new statistics, new treatments. All of these things have to grow and evolve over time. And everything, you can't just test people. This is why they have research studies, because you gotta have people that's willing to volunteer to go do stuff. That's why a lot of times everybody ain't willing to volunteer, so they end up doing it on animals and shit like that. I say it's to say, as a person who has studied psychology, we really get caught up in the terms of mental illness, when I feel like a lot of it is just a hoax. It's just a lot of it is just terms that we use to identify people. But when I read the DSM, which is the book that psychologists use to diagnose people, and you can Google that, the DSM. There's a couple different versions. I think we're up to number 5. You gotta understand, like back in the 70s, being gay was considered a mental illness. This is why you wonder why gay people didn't come out, baby, because like you would have been dead. You would have been put in a insane asylum. At first it was just Christians burning people to the stake and shit. But then they scientifically came in and said that you got cultures that crucify people that end up being gay. They kill the gays off. And then you had people here in America in the book that basically said that people that were gay were mentally ill. So could you imagine? You be wondering like why didn't? Because they couldn't. It wasn't safe. When I say it wasn't safe, it wasn't just about hate crime and stuff. It wasn't safe like on a lot of levels to ever say that people were who they were. So you wonder why people don't talk about certain things, because it was a time where you couldn't. All of that is public information. You can go and find it out for yourself. What I'm saying is that we put a lot of value on our conditions, and I don't believe that we should do that, because me personally, like, I am not my condition. Like, whatever is going on with me is whatever's going on with me, but I don't hold that as that's me, that's who I am, because it's like, no, it's not. Like, girl, no, it's not. I think people put way too much value on that. That is the number one thing now that people want to do, is label people crazy. Because, as I told you before in other videos, when people want to determine your worth and value, they need to taint you. They need to taint your image. So it's like, if we can't taint you morally with like a scandal or lies or, confusion, or we can't, you don't have a criminal record, you're not disabled, things that are obvious to where people can automatically deem you less than. You're not poor or poor-minded. So what do we gotta say? You mentally ill, something wrong with you, you crazy. You know she crazy, right? And if we go back in time, this is why I put the thumbnail the way I did. If we go back in time, we've looked at the people that they have called crazy. I remember when Martin Lawrence was on that interstate waving a gun, and he kept saying, them people trying to kill me. Everybody thought, like, what happened to Martin? Like, what's wrong with him? That nigga going crazy. No, it was somebody really probably trying to kill him. It was probably something really going on. But nobody believed him. Same thing with me, man. When I've been sitting here and doing all these videos and talking to people, and that's why I said I'm not talking to people no more. I'm not talking to therapists. I'm not talking to none of y'all. Because when I tell you the truth, you want to label me crazy. And it's just like, no. That's not, no, bitch. This is what the fuck I experienced. And if you can't handle that, and you can't tell me the truth, and you can't nurture me through that and walk with me, but you first thing you want to do is say, how are you mentally? Then you're not qualified to speak to me, man. You're not. You're just, you probably got you a Pinterest board of a bunch of fucking quotes of all the profound things that you want to say to people, this cookie cutter shit. But when somebody really come in with some heavy shit, things that I have been through and I experienced, most of these people, they don't know what to say. They just be sitting there like, oh, that's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Just some fake ass response, some generic ass shit. This is why I say I don't want to talk to people no more. Most of these people are just getting by. They're not qualified to really help and serve you, man. That's why probably so many teachers and stuff is being laid out, because a lot of these people don't want to teach no way. They're not really invested in what they do. They do enough to get paid, and then they move on with their day. So this is why I said I'm not talking to no spiritual counselor. I'm not talking to no therapist, at least not right now. Or at least until I find one that I feel more secure with, that I feel like can actually help me. Don't be giving me no generic shit, because it insults my intelligence. Like, you're gonna have to be smarter than me for me to take you seriously. That's just how it is. Like, if you want to sit down with me, then it needs to be somebody that has more experience than me. You're gonna have to be able to enlighten me for me to take you seriously. That's just the way it is. And so I think now that so many people have come out and talk about it, and then they always try to find a way to monetize. I don't want to be the poster child for mental illness. Like, yeah, I may be going through shit, but like I say, most of the time, I don't even feel like I have anxiety when I'm able to, like, make my own food, when I'm in my own home. If you've gone through homelessness and you're sharing a space with 60, 70 people at a time, where you're constantly surrounded by people, that can create anxiety, dumbass. That's why people are saying, like, oh my God, like, you have anxiety. Like, yeah, bitch, because I'm constantly fucking around people that I don't know all the time. I don't know you hoes. I don't want to know you hoes. You got to share a meal every day with 70, 80 people in a room all the time. Every classroom that we in is 40 plus people in a room, in a packed ass damn room. Nobody wants to live like that. Even if you go to a regular school, there's not supposed to be more than 20 people to one teacher at a time. So you understand as an educator, you can't teach effectively with 40 fucking people. I don't care if they're grown or not. Even as a professional trainer or a speaker, if you have more than 40 people in the room, you're supposed to have a second speaker there. Because this is why you can't hold people's attention and they walking in and out of your class. Because of all these sidebar conversations and people ain't really staying interested because you got people sitting here for 2 hours at a time with 40 people in the room and that we're packed in here like sardines and you want people to just sit here and it's just like, girl, no. This shit creates anxiety. This is an anxiety-filled fucking experience. Y'all want me to make me feel like this shit, bitch? I've always lived alone. I've always lived with me and my kid, bitch. I'm never going to get used to communal living. And people want to make you feel like something is wrong with you. No, and there's nothing wrong with me. I don't want to live around hundreds of people at the same damn time. Who? You don't even do that. Then you may have neighbors and people that live next door, but as far as in your house, in your home, it's you and whoever you choose to live with. And should you choose to leave or go or do or have or be, you can do that. But there is so much foolishness going on. And that's what I'm saying. Within these communities, there are all types of people. There are former drug addicts. There are people that are mentally ill. There are people that are disabled. There are people that are everyday people that maybe just fell on hard times. There are young folks, people that have been sexually abused, battered, stalked, exploited, all of that. So you got all of this melting pot of people. There are older people, there are young people, there are people in between. There are black people, white people, Asian. So you got all of these different demographics in here. And you tell me you wouldn't feel nothing? You got 70, 80 people in an open space. And there's only 12 bathrooms. And people want you to sit here and act like this is normal, because that's what I'm saying. They want to try to normalize institutionalization, and it's like you're never going to make me think that that's cool. You're never going to make me think that that's okay. Like, this is normal. This is life. Like, get used to it. Be comfortable with this. This is life. Just, baby, it's not, honey. I am a flower. I am a girl who likes nice things, who likes to live around nice things, who likes to do nice things, honey. I like rooftop bars. I like to sip champagne. I like to be real pretty. I don't want to have to lock my shit up all the time because I'm around people that steal and connive and do fuck shit. I don't want to constantly be under illegal surveillance all the time. People record me everywhere I go, from corner to corner, to pillar to post. I'm under surveillance. I don't want to have the people digging through my purse and shit every time I walk through the door. No, ma'am. This ain't life. This ain't normal. Like I said, the type of security that they got here is only at TSA, okay, and at the courthouse. The type of security that they have here is only done at the courthouse or TSA. So when you wonder why people have mental illness, or they're going through things, or they're mentally unstable, or having issues, but consider the environment. Consider the environment they are in. And when you look at these children and these babies, I did a whole paper, 15-page paper on children and homelessness. And you got these babies in this shelter, in these cooped up environments. A lot of these mamas do not invest in these children. A lot of them don't have the means to. I get that. But what I'm saying is, if you got 4 or 5 kids and y'all sharing a 4x4 space, a studio apartment with no oven or nowhere, to clean up, and you got 5 kids in a studio apartment, what do you expect? I'm just like these people, like they kill me with this mental illness shit, because like I said, first of all, a lot of these people aren't qualified to even speak on mental illness. And that's what I'm gonna start telling you. Like, I don't want to talk to you if you are not somebody with a PhD, because you need to have more education. You need to have a PhD, okay, or Psych D. When we speak of mental illness, or MD, I even give you an MD, Psych D, PhD. You need to have that if you're gonna speak to me about shit. I need to see where your residency was. But if you don't have those credentials, then you need to be quiet. I'm talking about in order to speak to me. Because a lot of these people that are in social services are not equipped to deal with people and their issues. I would even respect somebody that's a licensed social worker, because they usually have to take psychology classes. I respect that. I respect a marriage and family therapist. You know, I can respect those people too. But a lot of these people that are in these social services positions never went to school for that shit. They just ended up there, and then they'll just push people off. And like, for example, I remember my homeboy told me, Bernard, he was like, don't ever let the school diagnose your children with disorders, because the schools get extra funding for diagnosing people with certain mental disorders. There's funding for that. The more people that you have with disabilities, mental illness, all of that stuff, there's extra funding for that. Please believe it's all about the funding. It's always about the funding. It's never really about you. And he was like, whenever them teachers come to you, and if they ever tell you, hey, we need to sit down and have a parent-teacher conference, and they fill out this exam about how your child acts or whatever, and they say, well, hey, this person is likely for X, Y, Z. You need to go get you a second opinion. And I would say, you take what the teacher wrote, and you need to go to the doctor. Because I remember that happened with my own kid, and what the doctor said was, I don't think it's ADHD at all. She was like, it may be anxiety, it may be the classroom, it may be what's something that's going on. There's external factors that can cause people to act a certain type of way. So before, I don't think medication is necessary. I think that we need to do other things. There are other ways to treat things besides medication. But people don't consider that. People just want to deem you crazy or something. They need to label you. They need to have something tarnished on your name, something documented to say that there is something wrong with you. That's what they need. Because if we can prove that something's wrong with you or something happened, then we can go back here and say, oh, remember when at this day, at this time that this happened, then we can prove that if she's mentally ill, then she can't do this or she can't do, like, whatever it may be. There's always a way that people try to find to, like, use mental illness against you. When I feel like at the end of the day, we're all suffering with something. I do. I feel like we all, like, if you look at, like I said, if you look at the DSM and you read it, like, literally anybody can have anything anytime. Like, if you look at bipolar schizophrenia, or you look at the different subgroups, body dysmorphia, all of those different things, look at the different subgroups of how they break down each disorder and what they're connected to. Some of this stuff can happen through medical conditions. It don't even have nothing to do with mental health. You can have a medical condition that can cause certain mental disorders. So sometimes you may not start out that way. You may have a chemical imbalance or something that happens with your thyroid that causes another issue somewhere else. So this is what I'm saying. Like, people don't know what they're talking about. They're not trained. They don't know what they're talking about, and they say certain things in an insensitive way. And it's not even really insensitive. They're not informed. They're not qualified. So I just rather you just shut your mouth. If you're not qualified to speak on shit, shut up. Just shut up. Like, for me, for example, like medications, I never talk about that shit because I'm not a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is the one that actually have gotten their PhD or their psych degree, and they know how to properly not only diagnose you with a specific disorder, but also what medications go along with that. That is, Candice didn't make it that far. It's not even that I didn't make it. Like, that's not, I'm more of the academic research type of girl. I don't think I want to be client focused. Like I want to be more so like in the labs, doing research, creating assessments. I want to do more of the educational research side of things than actually being client focused and in the office. I don't think I want to do that. That's why I didn't become a full-blown therapist, because I don't think I have the space mentally to constantly deal with people's trauma every single day. Like it is a lot. Even though I'm good at it, I think I'm better served in a different aspect of psychology. And that's why I just said, hey, I really want to do the academics. I really want to do the research and development, and the analysis. And like I said, the case studies and scenarios, different projects, different initiatives at universities. Those are the type of things that I like to do. So with that being said, I just think we got to be careful about the things that we say and how we talk to people. Even for me, like dealing with people and their children, I don't know what people are going through, so I am mindful of the things that I say. I'm mindful of how I judge people, because I don't know. I did certain problems I didn't have, so certain things I may not have an understanding for. So I've just learned to just be quiet. And if I do have something to say, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna just ask you, like, hey, like, what's going on? What's XYZ? Like, what is that? What does that mean? When did that happen? Can you explain it? Can you tell me a little bit about it? And I'm always willing to listen. But as far as just sitting here trying to psychoanalyze somebody, like my tired ass case manager, I can't stand that bitch. I swear to God, I'm saying that out loud. Like, I cannot stand her. I can't. Like, I don't like her at all. I think that a lot of things that she says is very problematic. And I think that she's just a very jealous-hearted person, because, but honestly and truly, like, since I've gone through this situation of being displaced, like, most of the case managers that I've had have been like that. They're very condescending. They don't really like me, because it's like they're used to people that need them, and I don't really need you like that. I don't. I quit asking questions. I quit trying to. I just quit, because like I say, I've been through this long enough. I've dealt with people that, I guess, like I said, they do things to prove a point. Like, these people in these positions don't care. Like, they don't care about these people. They're just there for a check. Like, they can really care less about whether if you really get on your feet or really expect. Like, they don't like you like that. They don't care. The days of people actually caring about the work they do. Go to a restaurant, and not necessarily a restaurant, but even if you go like the fast food, like, the service is always bad. I don't care where you go. You think, like, maybe I should go to another, maybe Chick-fil-A is not so bad, certain places, but everywhere else, it's shitty service. Because customer service has just gone out the window. Customer service has gone out the window. And I'll give you a prime example. The other day, we had volunteers came in during lunch. And volunteers came. The one lady came in, she was early. And she was like, hey, I'm just here, and she walked up and she tried to speak to someone, and they just shunned the shit out of her. She was like, I'll be with you in one moment. And it was like, no, if there was no like, hey, how you doing? I'm so and so. You know, I'm making these plays right now, and I'll be with you in just a minute. You know, and so when I saw that, it made me realize a lot about myself and how, like, on the outside looking in, like how that mean, that nice, nasty, that mean shit, how bad that shit look. Especially when you dealing with like people from the outside and you dealing with people that you don't know, like. It looks real bad. You may not realize it. You may be having a bad day. You may be going through it, whatever it is. But it was just, I don't know. It just looked it just looked real bad. It looked real bad. And the lady was just like, damn, like, we came here to help y'all. We came here to volunteer. Like, what the hell is the problem? But I had to understand that that's just how that person speaks. That's how she talk to people. That's how a lot of people speak here. They talk at you, not to you. They don't have customer service here. They don't. That's not what they do. From the security to the kitchen staff to the people at the desk, that's not what they do here. So when they see somebody like me, they was like, hey, how you doing? You know, because I worked in the service industry for 12 years. So even if it is just people, like, I understand the value of creating good connections with people. And it's unfortunate. And I guess in her mind, she don't care, because it's just like, oh well, I don't need you like that. Like, you don't matter. And it's just like, you never know, man. That's what I was always told in college. Like, you never know who people know. You never know when you might need somebody. You never know how the cookie may crumble. You never know, the wheel is always turning. You may want a new opportunity. Hey, they may want to ask you, can you cater an event or something like that? We having a business meeting next week. Would you like to come and cater our event? Like, you don't know what the fuck you don't know who these people are. So this is what I say. Like, I treat it, man. Listen, this is so weird, man. Who are these four? Okay, I was about to say, y'all was looking real weird. I just don't do that. This is why I'm mindful of the things that I say, man, and how I treat people, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who people know. You don't know how things will turn out, and people will always remember you by how you treated them, not necessarily what you said, but how you treated them, how you made them feel. That's my Angelou. And so even when I was standing there, like, not only did it happen that time, but when I was standing there and I was trying to explain to them how to make the plates or whatever, she came over and she was just like mean mugging the shit out of me. I'm like, is something wrong? Is that wrong? And she was like, you can do whatever you want to do. I ain't even think about you. And I was just like, oh, okay. She said, I'm finna go eat my cereal and carry on with my day. And I'm just like, okay. See, this is the shit that I be talking about. That you wonder why motherfuckers got anxiety, because look at how you talk to people. Look at how you talk to people, man. All I'm sitting here asking you for is that okay? And you scold the shit out of me in front of people, trying to be funny, trying to be messy, man. And then you wonder why niggas don't talk to you or don't have nothing to say or don't want to be friends. And then you'll sit here and say, oh, it's, you know, they're mentally ill. There's something wrong with them. No, man, y'all just abusive. And you too shallow to get help, man. You too shallow to see yourself. No one has ever told you that you was wrong, that you could be better, that you could do it differently. you know what's so sad is that when I wasn't saying nothing, people talk shit. Didn't I tell you that? You know, she mean, she disrespectful, she this, she that, she this, she that. So then I pep up, I get out there, I talk to people, I'm nice, I'm kind, I show you who I really am, because really I am a really sweet person. I really enjoy helping and being of service and being kind. Like, you can check my resume, you can check my pictures, you can check where I'm from, baby. I've always been of service. That is a part of who I am. That's part of where I come from, the volunteer state. That's what we do. Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised. And then it's just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe, like, she's talking, and she's at, you know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, people ain't never satisfied. It don't matter what you do, man. They're gonna always have something to say. They're gonna deem you something. If you ain't talking, then you depressed, and something wrong with you. If you are talking and you being nice and you being kind, or you trying to be seen, you doing too much, you seeking attention. It's like, girl, I was getting attention either way. You hoes been talking about me the whole time I've been here. So what is it? I just like, y'all is, man. I can't wait to go and never look back, man. I can't wait to go and to never look back. That's all I can say, because this shit is just awful. Like, no matter what I do, no matter how much I try to, like, soup it up, or not even soup it up, but people are who they are, and you can't change them, and you have to accept people for who they are. And people don't have to change to meet your expectations. They don't. They have a right to be who they are, just like you do too. So you got to find the people that vibe with you, that are on your same wave, and that's just the way it is. So I don't expect nothing from nobody, but it's just, you can tell that people are used to being abused. You can tell that people don't see anything wrong with what they do or how they act or the things they say, because it's just like, oh, that's just so and so. That's just how they are. That's the same shit my daddy used to tell me about my mom. You know, that's just how she is. Even if somebody's abusive or mean, or they traumatize you, or they talk to you any type of way, it's okay. That's just how they are. Don't forget to take your meds. I hope this information has been useful to you. I hope that you continue to have a great rest of the day, and I plan on doing the same.